Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 8.
Yep.
The WNBA is struggling to make it through the semifinals and finals without Caitlin Clark, and the situation is not looking good at all. The energy feels different, the excitement has dropped, and it is becoming increasingly clear just how much her presence meant to the league during the postseason.
The game speaks for itself, but it's also in the numbers. Just look at the difference in All-Star votes compared to last year. A'ja Wilson led with just under 100,000 votes, and this year Caitlin Clark is leading with a little over 700,000. What a difference a year makes.
Games that do not feature Caitlin Clark are drawing significantly fewer viewers, and the numbers clearly reflect that decline. As a result, the WNBA is now taking a major ratings hit and is finally being forced to acknowledge the reality of the Caitlin Clark effect and how much she drives fan interest.
Parcher, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full.
If the WNBA had been more intelligent in how it handled her season and had not allowed referees to consistently target and rough her up, the league might not be facing this problem today. Now, many fans are choosing not to watch the games because, to them, it simply is not the same without Caitlin Clark on the court.
Take a look at this.
And that have been calling for the equality, and now that there is the chance for them to start getting paid more because the exposure's up. Because it's her, you have people like, what's her name, Jamelia Hill or what? I can't stand her.
Yeah.
You got these women who are coming on here and they're saying it's because
Clark recently went out to play golf, and the turnout of fans who showed up just to see her was eye-opening. It is fair to say that if Caitlin were still competing in the playoffs right now, the WNBA would be experiencing its biggest moment in history.
Put Caitlin Clark on the USA team. If we put Caitlin Clark on the roster, we're gonna get tens or even hundreds of millions of fans to watch our game. And we sell out every game, even our exhibition game. Those things just don't matter. Women's basketball has never been about millions of people watching or selling out arenas. Come on now, give me some good reasons. Caitlin Clark just scored 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in front of 20,000 people. And in that game, she tied the rookie record with 7 made 3-pointers. I just don't see how those stats are important. I mean, she missed USA tryouts in April. Yeah, that's because she was playing for a college national championship. She couldn't do anything about that. That's not her fault. I'm just saying she could have been at USA tryouts if she.
Throughout the season, Caitlin Clark faced constant adversity. Fans, media members, and analysts did everything they could to try to bring her down. Despite all of that, she consistently maintained her composure, both in press conferences and on the court. In a tough and hostile environment, Caitlin still dominated the league. She balled out. Meanwhile, critics and so-called experts scrambled, using every excuse imaginable to discredit and downplay a truly generational talent.
Now that Caitlin Clark is out, and again, like I said, she brought a whole new fan base. And I'm not going to say it was one race or another or one type of person. I believe that all different types of people really started embracing Caitlin Clark. Female, male, black, white, young, old. Caitlin Clark is just a superstar. That's what happens when you have a star.
Long before Caitlin Clark left her undeniable mark on the WNBA, she had already captivated the entire basketball world during her legendary college career at the University of Iowa. Her NCAA performances were not just impressive, they were revolutionary, completely redefining what was considered possible in college basketball. Known for her explosive scoring and deep three-point shooting range, Clark routinely delivered jaw-dropping moments that left commentators, coaches, and fans absolutely speechless.
They were the most watched team in the league. An average of viewership, 1.1 million viewers each game in the regular season. Other games listed to this paled in comparison, drawing just about 394,000 viewers on average.
When Caitlin entered the WNBA, she arrived as a star, and it was immediately clear that she was not going to disappoint. Fans who had followed her journey from Iowa were eager to see how her game would translate to the professional level, and she delivered every step of the way. Each time she stepped onto the court, she put on performances that justified all the hype surrounding her transition into the league.
Has joined the WNBA. We've now earned enough money for every single team to fly private. So if we put her on the team, we're gonna be able to fly private all the way to Paris and back. We have been fighting for private flights for so many years in women's basketball, but I mean, we can go back to commercial. That's something the league has been asking for so long. And now Caitlin has literally given that to us. All right, I made my decision. Okay, good. So you're gonna put her on the team. The world's gonna be so excited. Caitlin Clark has brought us millions of fans, hundreds of millions of dollars, and private flights. But at the end of the day, that's just not.
Beyond the box score, what truly set Caitlin Clark apart was her ability to elevate everyone around her. It is one thing to dominate individually, but Clark consistently made her teammates better. Her exceptional court vision allowed her to create scoring opportunities that many other players simply would not see. Her leadership on the floor helped guide the Indiana Fever to several crucial wins throughout the season. Even as a rookie, she was often the player her team relied on in clutch moments, and more often than not, she delivered. It became clear that Caitlin Clark was not just a great young player. She was already one of the most influential players in the WNBA. The level of attention she brought to her games, from both fans and the media, was unmatched, and the WNBA quickly recognized that she had the potential to become the face of the league.
I'd just like to say congratulations to Caitlin Clark, #1 player on the planet right now. Let's go ahead and do this game today. You got your hands full. You're probably nervous because it's senior day. It's the last one here, but this crowd's gonna carry you through. So just keep focused. I know as soon as you drop that first three, it's gonna be all over.
For much of the season, the Indiana Fever looked like a team on the rise. With Caitlin Clark leading the way, the Fever appeared to have all the pieces necessary to make a deep playoff run. Their fan base grew significantly throughout the year, and optimism spread that this team could make a real statement once the postseason arrived.
The GM in Connecticut, and I said, Darius, let's go back to Indy. Let's have one game in Indy. He said, there is no way I'm going to do anything to allow my team to get out of this arena. And I said, well, I'll blame you. I said, because we will have 19,000 people ready for you. He said, I don't want to go back to Indy. But our players deserved a chance.
Unfortunately, the best-of-3 format in the first round of the playoffs quickly crushed those hopes. The Fever were matched up against the Connecticut Sun, a battle-tested team with far more playoff experience. While Indiana had the talent to compete, the short series format left virtually no margin for error. As a result, the Fever fell short, and Caitlin Clark's playoff run came to an early and disappointing end.
2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continued to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did.
The absence of a home game proved to be especially damaging for the Indiana Fever. As mentioned earlier, the Fever had developed one of the most passionate and dedicated fan bases in the WNBA, regularly filling arenas with nearly 20,000 supporters. That kind of home court advantage can be a game changer in a playoff series, particularly for a young and developing team like Indiana. Ultimately, the Fever were eliminated, and Caitlin Clark's rookie season came to an abrupt and disappointing end. The entire series felt like a missed opportunity, not only for the Fever, but for the WNBA as a whole. One of the league's biggest stars was gone far too early, and the remainder of the playoffs suffered because of it. The decision to use a best-of-3 format in the first round has since been widely criticized, as the WNBA missed a critical chance to showcase one of its brightest stars on the league's biggest stage while trying to grow its audience and boost viewership.
Things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season into after the start we had to the season. So, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So,
by comparison, the NBA uses a best-of-5 format in the first round of its playoffs. This structure allows teams time to adjust, recover from early losses, and build momentum as a series develops. It also creates drama and storylines that keep fans invested. The WNBA's shorter playoff series, however, do not allow for that same build-up. A best-of-3 series can be over almost as soon as it begins, which is exactly what happened to the Indiana Fever. For a league still fighting to carve out a larger share of the sports landscape, creating marquee moments is essential. In a longer series, the Fever might have had the opportunity to regroup, return to Indiana, play in front of their home crowd, and keep the Caitlin Clark spectacle alive for several more games. Instead, they were eliminated in just 2 contests, and with them went a substantial portion of the WNBA's playoff viewership.
Voice that I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention.
The immediate effects of Caitlin Clark's exit from the playoffs were reflected clearly in the league's viewership numbers. Throughout the regular season, the WNBA experienced a noticeable surge in fan engagement, much of it driven by Clark's performances. She had become the primary attraction for many casual viewers who had not previously followed the league closely. Once the Fever were eliminated, however, many of those viewers began to tune out. The statistics told a clear story. Viewership for games following Clark's exit declined significantly, and even high-profile matchups featuring stars like Aya Wilson and Breanna Stewart were unable to sustain the same level of interest. Fans were tuning in specifically to watch Caitlin Clark, and without her on the court, that interest quickly faded.
I'd just like to say congratulations to Caitlin Clark, #1 player on the planet right now. Let's go ahead and do this game today. You got your hands full. You're probably nervous because it's senior day. It's the last one here, but this crowd's gonna carry you through. So just keep focused. I know as soon as you drop that first 3, it's gonna be all over.
This sharp decline in viewership after Clark's departure should serve as a major wake-up call for the WNBA. The league has long struggled to compete with other major sports organizations when it comes to television ratings and media coverage, and Clark had provided a much-needed boost. Her ability to attract fans through both her on-court brilliance and her growing media presence had been a true game-changer. But once she was no longer part of the postseason picture, the WNBA was forced to confront the reality of its limited niche audience once again.
I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she was in the first half of the season.
This drop in viewership is not just about losing one player. It represents the loss of the momentum Caitlin Clark built throughout the season. That momentum was vital for the WNBA. The league had been making steady progress in recent years, gradually expanding its fan base and increasing media attention. However, the sudden elimination of one of its brightest stars, followed by a noticeable decline in fan interest, revealed just how fragile that progress can be. It underscored how heavily the league's current growth depends on its ability to protect, promote, and maximize the presence of its most marketable stars.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship. And so you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know.
For much of the season, Caitlin Clark faced a wave of criticism and negativity from parts of the media. However, it wasn't until her exit from the playoffs that both the media and the WNBA truly grasped the magnitude of the Caitlin Clark effect. When Clark was on the floor, viewership numbers surged. Fans tuned in specifically to watch her play, and social media was flooded with clips of her highlights. The energy surrounding the league was undeniable. But once she was no longer playing, the contrast became impossible to ignore. The drop-off in attention was immediate and striking.